Kia ora, kia rana, talapalava. My name is Matt, Cook Island and Samoan. Bit of Tahitian as well. The Samoan stems from my granddad on my mom's side. The Tahitian side stems from my dad's side on my grandma. So yeah. Cool. So I work for an awesome Māori organization that is based out in Manurewa called Te Kao Te Rangatahi. My role there is I work with mental well-being. So I just help out Rangatahi kind of navigate and shift through the motions of navigating their mental well-being journey. As far as sexual health promotion, I've been a support in that as well. And for me, it means to just help Awhi and support our Rangatahi with feeling comfortable with their bodies in a healthy and positive way. 100. I guess for me, when I do go into these spaces to promote sexual health, my main focus is to help our Rangatahi realize like what positive relationships look like and what consent means. Because for a young person, I guess in their mind it could mean something totally different. But from, I guess, a positive perspective, it could mean another thing too. So, yeah. For me personally and professionally, from my perspective, I think some of the biggest themes that need to be, I guess, addressed more is consent, especially being Pacifica. For our young boys out there, consent is kind of a grey area for them. Speaking like, when a girl says no or a boy says no, that means no. That does not mean the chase is on, as some would think. But that's kind of really the big thing that I see and that our Pacifica communities need a lot of awhi with. Yeah, consent and positive relationships. I feel like our Pacifica boys are getting the information from peer groups, whether it's sporting teams or hanging out at the courts at school. I feel like they're just sharing each other's experience when it comes to sexual health and kind of what they went through and just going off that and then just relaying that and forwarding it to each other in different separate, smaller, I guess, peer groups. Also, I reckon social media plays a huge part and I guess displaying to our young boys and girls out there what sex is, what it looks like. It's just almost kind of, it's not really enhancing, to be honest. Social media is so fast these days. The ability for Rangatahi to grasp information is just so like really overboard, to be honest. It just kind of comes and goes, swipe, swipe, swipe. Subconsciously, they're just storing, I guess, misinformation about certain things regarding sexual health. Yeah, so I've had like candid talks with some of the young boys that I help mentor. Some of them is like, size matters, body counts. Having a big body count, double digits, means you're kind of alpha, right? Like, you're the man. I noticed that a lot of Rangatahi are almost like desensitized to things regarding sexual health. For instance, it could be like, Instagram models talking about things that they've seen or headlines regarding like OnlyFans. They're really just desensitized to it. If they were to see like a pic of maybe a girl who was topless, it wouldn't really like shock them because they're almost kind of like used to seeing, I guess, that kind of content out there. I reckon like, yeah, for their overall like whole order, like it's not really healthy. Here they are grasping different information of each other as well as social media, and it's just all being stored in here. It's not really getting talked about at all at home. I guess being from a personal perspective, firstborn generation here in New Zealand, I guess my generation, even my wife's generation, we're kind of the in-between. in regards to helping balance our island traditions and what our parents and our grandparents went through right back home, and then moving into Western society where we have to juggle, yep, we're like this at home, but outside that front door, it's a completely different world. So we have to balance the two, where we can't really have those safe talks. I know for me personally, I didn't talk about sex with my parents until, and we didn't even say the word sex really until my wedding, the day I got married. And with my dad, he's like, "Oh, you can finally have sex with Millie now." And I was like, "Shut Dad. If Dad's ever watching this, shout out to you, Dad." But yeah, that just speaks volumes, because like we never really talked about that topic growing up. I guess like our parents were so caught up with trying to balance paying rent, adjusting to Western society, and making sure there was food on the table. So I guess there was no time to actually talk about our feelings regarding sexual health, what's out there, and what is sexual health in a positive sense. But I think for me personally, moving forward, being a young father, I want to have that space. You know, when we do our evening prayer sessions, I want to have that space before we go to bed, where I can like sit with my son and be like, "Hey, how's things going? How's everything down there? How's everything up here as well? Like, is there anything that you need to talk about?" And I want that time and those moments to be the spaces where my children can kind of share their whakaaro or kōrero more about like what's going on, especially with their sexual health and their mental health as well. So. Definitely, I think, yeah, when it comes to shame, the misguidance and the misinformation is placed where our parents and our grandparents can't fully comprehend what sexual health means, like in a positive sense. Anything sexual is automatically like a red flag in our Pacifica home. It's almost like we have to balance like what that means for us as Pacific Islanders moving forward, but also what does that mean for our elders? Like, how can we properly inform them and guide them to a better understanding of the subject? Because this subject will forever be with us. You know, our young Pacific Island men and women, boys and girls, will forever have sexual health around them. So there comes a time where we need to like talanoa more, hui more about what that means, what some positive outlets and some positive ways to counter misinformation. Creating that safe space to talk about relationships and communication, what healthy relationships look like, what healthy communication looks like, and then tying that in with consent. So it's almost like we're breaking down what a positive relationship looks like. Then we're talking about how healthy communication can help build that strong relationship, and then tying in consent and how important it is to have consent when you're having those intimate moments with a significant other or someone you may have met after ball, or you did a little sneaky link after Polyfest. I feel like that's important, like consent. When someone tells you no, like they really mean no. Act on that correctly and positively too. If the VAR's not safe, if you feel like you've overstepped your boundaries, take a couple steps back. Reflect on what's in front of you, reflect on yourself. Is this what grandma or grandpa would want of me? Is this how they raised me to be? So I feel like that would be like an awesome way to kind of bridge that gap with our Pacifica communities. If there was like an initiative that could help teach healthy relationships and healthy communication, tying in consent as well. Be kind, and I speak from a sense of being kind to yourself as well. Whatever you're feeling, experiencing, a lot of hormones that you may be going through, becoming sexually active as well. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, seek help as well, seek information, positive information, not misinformation, but just be kind to yourself and go out and get that help. Be kind to others, to help them go and get the information that's needed for them to help in their journey in life as well. So yeah, so just be kind.